You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Shark Tank After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Shark Tank After Show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the season finale of Shark Tank Season 5. I can't believe it's gone. And, you know what? Unfortunately, Steph Z is not here. Last episode we did, as she mentioned, there was a possibility that she wouldn't be able to do it. And that possibility is unfortunately true. And Christina Zias is not here either. So you get me to wrap it up for you guys. Perhaps we'll do kind of a season recap, best moments type of deal. That would be a lot of fun. But let's get started. Bake Edge. Now, normally Steph Z actually writes down a lot of the numbers for me, so I had to actually take notes of my own end in that regard. But they're asking for $400,000 for 20%. I thought this was quite a revolutionary idea. And I know Marissa wasn't expecting me to go to her, but my engineer Marissa of today, she is a baked goods connoisseur. If there's one person who loves to eat baked goods, it is Marissa. So
I wouldn't say connoisseur, but
I don't know. I just like that word. But Marissa loves sweets. And so, Marissa, tell me this. Their whole thing was that the edge of the brownie is the best part. Would you concur?
I agree. Edges where like everything just builds up and it's crispy, and some people like it, some people don't, because sometimes the edges get burnt and whatnot. But all the good stuff goes to the edges.
Well, Bake Edge has made quite a splash with where basically the whole brownie is the edge with their utility patented oven thing. And you know, typically when you come in here, it's ironic because Bake Edge didn't get a deal. Most of the time it's because they don't have a patent, right? Other products, they don't have that patent. And where these guys differed is they have the utility patent. They $1.7 million in a year, mainly because of Oprah. But now they're stuck in a rut where, you know, they don't have another line. And so I was actually shocked by this one. I thought it could have been a lot better than, you know, and I don't know, it just went wrong for them in such a weird way. Barbara calls it the sophomore slump. They have to kind of overcome. They need to get another good year. You can't just have, and as they said, it wasn't just a year of 1.7 million. I mean, that literally came within the course of a couple of weeks. And so you need to be able to innovate, and you need to be able to sustain that kind of money, which obviously they weren't. In 2012, they made $256,000. That is quite the drop, Marissa.
I was like, that's it in 1 year?
That's it. So, and I did like that Lori stepped up and said, hey, you got none of these other sharks have actually made products, so it is a little bit difficult. But, you know, none of them were really enthusiastic about it. And it was just baffling, but I think I'm gonna get Marissa a Bake Edge for her birthday.
I'd like to try it at least.
I think you'll go nuts. You'll go to town with this. Their valuation was certainly high, and that's what did cause a lot of you know, perhaps if it was a little bit lower, then they might be able to get something. But for the time being, they didn't. There was that mention of QVC infringement, and they squashed all their competition. But as mentioned, they just need a new idea, and everyone else is out. So, but again, I think Bake Edge is going to do just fine in this case. I really do.
Well, everyone loves brownies, so I think they'll
Hopefully.
be fine. Their demographic is certainly there.
Yeah, I mean, they mentioned it's a $6 billion a year industry, so hey, if they can really tap into that in the best of ways, then they're good. All right, Foot Ferry. Now, I don't quite know how this app works, but I love the idea behind it, being able to measure your actual shoe size, because I mean, I don't even really know my shoe size. It tends to be, it sometimes ranges between 9 to all the way to 11, depending on the shoe. So, for me, I'm curious as to how shoe sizes actually fully work, because it seems that every company has their own different shoe size that fits you. So ultimately, I feel like you have to go to this, like, you can measure your foot as much as you want, but I think you have to try on the actual shoe in order to know that it is really going to fit you. Maybe that's just me. That's just my experience.
And some people like flatness of shoes or more curvy, more cushion. So
That's true. See, but I don't mind the idea of it. People, so we have. Shoot, what's the name of foot doctor?
Pediatrician.
Yeah, something like that. Why am I blanking on it? See, I'm in the hot seat without Steph Z, and I'm blanking. But anyway, we have an expert, No, it's not ortho. No. Anyway.
I want to say pediatrician. Ped, foot.
Okay.
Go to the root.
All right. Well, anyway, we have an expert that deals with feet. And so she knows that it is a huge problem. And, I like it when someone who is an expert in their field is able to come up with a new product to solve an issue. I like that because it gives the product that much more credibility. You have a lot more faith in the entrepreneurs that, they're really building this for the right reasons and whatever else. And they're asking, the money that they're asking for...
Podiatrist. Ha.
Podiatrist, there you go.
Podiatrist.
The money that they're asking for, and I can see this because, I always kind of think of it in these terms too. They want to be able to have a better back end for their service. So while it is a free app and people can, get what they need and be linked to Zappos for the shoes that kind of fit within those categories of their foot size, they also want a better mailing list, and they want to get integrated. Now, a lot of this, I feel like, they have a big opportunity. They spent, I believe it's about $26,000 for marketing, where if you're aligned with Zappos, you could, everyone's big thing was put it on their website. You could be on their website, and that's your direct line of customers right then and there. I think there was a bigger integration play. And the biggest glitch that they do want to fix is the fact that they have, and I've seen this, it's basically a referral deal. So if someone clicks through that and orders shoes, they get, a kickback of the sale. The problem is there's a glitch, so it is not tracking correctly. They did mention that they did fix the glitch about, I think it was 3 days ago they mentioned. But yeah, huge glitch. And they're a young company. They've only really, they kept saying 3 weeks. So I forget if that's just when they, after their marketing term, that that they got a lot of users within a 3 week period, or if they've actually just been around for 3 weeks. And if they've only been around for 3 weeks, then kudos to them, because they do have a lot of stuff in place. Everyone else kind of didn't quite see it. And was out, except for Mark. Mark always tends to slightly think outside the box, and he likes, he mentioned his company with the shirt sizing, and now more than ever, even for myself, I hear, it's all about analytics, and it's all about being able to know, and so that way you're making business practices based on actual numbers, not how you think something is going to look or feel, etc. And so he had a really good question of if an expert in this field came in and said, hey, I could build something better, what would separate you from them? And they went right off about passion, and Mark got so angry, and I'm with him. Stop saying passion. If this whole thing is all about numbers and all that, you can't really measure passion, but what you can do is measure results. And so their follow-up answer was actually good. Their accuracy, they have a very good accuracy. Now, can accuracy be surpassed? Quite possibly. I don't, however, at the time, at least now, perhaps they do. So, Mark also, he's ready to make a deal, but it has a lot of contingencies, which I get. We have to make sure that the coding is correct. We have to make sure that they do in fact own the software, because they got, other developers to create the software, which I don't think is a bad thing, but obviously in terms of that, what Robert and Kevin always bring up is that it's not proprietary. Therefore, if they're able to get developers, someone else can do the same thing. So we'll see. But in the end, $100,000 for 40%. Deal with Mark, and we'll see where they're at. All right, Tina. Marissa, you ever make a water balloon? Is
Yes.
it difficult?
It can be when it's full with water, because things get slippery.
Well, I have the solution for you. Tie knot. This is a great little product. I actually enjoy it a lot, because you can use it on a garden hose as well as just a regular faucet. And these guys are great. I like that they kind of just, unlike with Ferry, where there's an expert in the field. I don't think you can be an expert in water balloons, but hey, you know what? From his daughter, they saw they saw that this could work. This could be something that there is a need for, or certainly would help. And I think, by the way, the timing wise, in terms of when to air this episode and with this product, it worked out great, because we're getting into summertime. So what kid isn't going to want to have water balloon fights? And I think for the pricing, I think you could sell a lot of these things. So they've thus far made 112,000, and it cost about $150 to make. They sell it for about $4.99, and that's because of a licensing deal. And as soon as you heard the word licensing, of course, you have to go to Kevin for that. And he was so disappointed with them, because I think they're giving about 6% of every sale on that. And as he says, you guys should be selling it much, much, much higher, and there was a demand for it at $9.99. And so that's a big mess up. Luckily for them, they can actually get out of it. They threw out or 90 days and 60 days, so I forget if it's actually 60 days or 90 days to get out of the deal. But their first step, no matter what, is always going to be get out of that licensing deal, so you can sell it for what you need to. And everyone kind of turned to Lori because, of course, QVC. But I did not know this. I think it was quite a bit of insider information to learn that, in order for that to be a QVC product, it would need to be in the $12 to $15 price range. And, the question got brought up, were they making money? Were they paying themselves? And they said, no, we've been putting that towards the trade shows. Everyone for the most part was out, except then Barbara offers $125,000 for 25%, 50 in cash, 75% in credit. Our young, enthusiastic guys, they counter, say, hey, why don't we do 18%? And Barbara doesn't go for it. And ultimately, they walk away with no deal, but it was just too much of a high price to pay. And you know what? In some sense, I kind of agree with them. And as Mark says, I think they'll be just fine without it. So...
my question is it just for water balloon making, or can
Yes.
you use this item for air when we blow up balloons regularly?
No. It's strictly just, well, I mean, I guess you could use it to tie. Yeah, that's actually a good question. I guess you could use it to tie a balloon that just has air in it. Yeah, I
I
don't
was
see
like,
the
because
problem.
so many people need that on an everyday basis. If you're limiting yourself to just filling it up with a certain property like water or something else, if you're using a prank, who knows?
That's good. See, that's actually really smart. They didn't bring that up.
See,
But
that's what I would invest in.
I could totally see this, you know, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from using this for a balloon filled with air. So, hey, tie knot, now you have another customer base. The regular, everyday, non-water balloon fighting people.
Yeah.
So
Those clowns need it.
those clowns, yes.
For the balloon making.
That reminds us of an episode early on when the clown community got angry at one of our pitchers, as we'll call him. But yeah, remember that episode, guys? Quite hilarious. Good point, Marissa. You know what? Tie knot. Send some residual checks over to Marisa Serafini. Marisa Serafini. Email us at info@AfterBuzzTV, and we'll loop you into where the checks should go.
Yes.
All right. Busy box. Letter B, letter Z, box. And, you know, they always save kind of the human interest story for the last product. And, you know, we kind of, it's about a female overcoming not only her limitations put forth by her family, but perhaps her own limitations that she's put upon herself, and overall she seems to be overcoming them. She's a college student. She has this idea, and it is obviously to make better boxes. Now, I don't move that much, so I don't know if I need the boxes that much.
It's a good idea because she's in college. People in college tend to move all the time. That's just a natural state of life. But I think it's smart. Collapsible boxes, right?
Collapsible boxes, absolutely correct. Although at the price point, I don't know if it is quite for college students because they're a little, you know, they tend to be a little bit more poor. You know, as she said, hey, the stereotypes are true, so we're just going to continue on with every stereotype we can. And yeah, college students, they don't have expendable income as much. However, for boxing
and they don't have a lot of space either.
No, they don't. But for boxing, like shipping facilities, this could be an item. However, as Kevin says, you know, those boxes cost around 56 cents to make. So if you can get the price to that point, we can have something going here. Part of it is, you know, she was experimenting around with different things, as Lori points out, Velcro being one of them. And as Marissa and I know, Velcro is very expensive.
It is.
So Velcro, definitely not the way to go. If there's an alternative, it definitely needs to be thought of. But, you know, but it shows at the very least that she is trying, that she is figuring out ways to perhaps, you know, do this better. So I commend her for that. She did win the entrepreneur competition. And Barbara just says, you know, I'm going to be real with you. You are not an entrepreneur, which is very insulting. However, it can also go the other way. Whenever you tell someone that they can't do something, and if they're truly ingrained within them that they can be great and they have the drive, then you know what? That's sometimes everything that they needed to hear so they could prove Barbara wrong. And so it might have been a nice little spark in the end. Mm-hmm. Kevin did offer her a deal. I mean, in the end, I don't think it was that much of an unreasonable deal, given the circumstances. You know, basically they would be partners at 50-50, and that's what he would pay. He would pay $50,000, and you know, contingent upon her doing some research to try to get that number down. But she basically spits in his face and is like, Lori, I need you, and you know, she ultimately got Lori, but you know, if it was, you know, if she really wanted her that much in terms of Lori, which obviously she did, where the deal ended up at $50,000 for 40%, you know, maybe to, you know, at the risk of losing Kevin, I would have just offered Lori, hey, let's do 50-50, or if you even want me, I don't know if it, you know, it's a risky move, but if you really see that much of a value in Lori, maybe even go 50 for 60. Just to really be, you know, 100% grab her. But in the end, it all works out for our girl. And her dad is proud, so you know what? Maybe she can overcome all this, and she doesn't have to be a doctor.
Well, hey, the idea is there. I mean, we've had space bags out and stuff, so anything that collapses and takes less amount of room, especially for a college student who has a lot of stuff, or sometimes a lot of stuff, but not enough room to hold it, the idea is there, so good for her.
Indeed. And this week, we didn't quite get a normal recap. We got more of a montage of all the recaps we've gotten this season. And, you know, it being the final episode, casting's open. So, hey, if you're a young entrepreneur, if you're an old entrepreneur, wherever you may be, if you need the money to start your business, save your business, or just grow your business, apply now at abc.com. Perhaps we'll see you on Shark Tank. It has been quite the season here, and yeah, I mean, we've done so many of these episodes, but hey, they've been fun. I love the aspect that there's not really a lot of hiatuses, unlike with scripted TV shows. Kevin is right. It's the biggest, best venture capital because, you know, not only can you get money, you also get exposure to your business. So even if perhaps you don't walk away with a deal, you're getting, you know, you're getting the people, you're getting those eyes and ears to be able to see that. And speaking of eyes and ears, if you guys are watching this before Tuesday of May 21st, I believe, check out Oxygen's Chasing Maria Menounos. It's on 10:30 Tuesday night. And hey, if you're listening to this after that date, you know what? You can download all the episodes on demand on Amazon and iTunes. It's a great series, a great behind-the-scenes look at AfterBuzz and our founders, Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos. So definitely worth checking out. And hey, in the end, it all kind of comes full circle. It helps us out here, you know, because ultimately, the bigger that is, the bigger AfterBuzz can get, and vice versa. So, on behalf of Christina Zias, Steph C, Phil Svitek, Marisa Serafini, we would like to, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for being with us this season. I know we've got quite a little bit of a hiatus. If all goes according to plan, and I'm looking at you, Steph C, you're going to get us to a taping of Shark Tank because we missed it by a day. In fact, not even by a day, by 4 hours, we could have been there for the last taping of Shark Tank. And if we're definitely going to make that happen, we're going to have some great stories when we come back for Season 6. In the meantime, definitely continue the conversation. Let us know what you're thinking. Hey, if you're a young entrepreneur, let us know, you know. We love hearing from you guys. It's been a fun, great season.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.